Well, I'm unbelievably excited to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I want to thank the Rooney family. I want to thank Omar Khan. I want to thank Coach Tomlin. I want to thank everyone that helped me get here, my family, my wife. I want to thank everyone at West Virginia that has helped me to this point. I'm ready to get to work, and yeah.
Zach, there's a long history of some really successful centers here. You know, Marquise Pouncey being the latest one. Does that mean anything to you? How exciting is it to get an opportunity to be the next one?
Yeah, there's a rich tradition of great centers here, and there's definitely a high standard for that position, and that's just going to make me work that much harder to uphold that standard and keep that standard.
What was that moment like last night when you got the phone call? Did you have any cell service issues before that? You were cutting out?
Yeah, I did. So I got the call and I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. So I was going all over the house trying to figure out where I could get the best service, but it all worked out. Yeah.
Well, what was that moment like when you hear them and they're saying, "Hey, we're picking you"? What's going through your mind in that moment?
Yeah. Well, I kind of got thrown a curveball because they couldn't hear me. They're like, "Zach, are you there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here," but they couldn't hear me. So I'm scrambling all over the place. But it was an unbelievable feeling to have that weight lift off your shoulders and just have that relief of knowing that I finally got picked, and then also that I got picked here just right up the road.
Zach, go ahead, Mike.
The last play of your college career, when you crawled off the field, that play's gotten a lot of attention. And when we asked offensive coordinator Arthur Smith about it, he said that's just who you are. Where does that come from? Who are the people, or how did you develop that kind of an attitude, that kind of a mindset?
I would say just my family. I was just kind of raised to do everything you can to do everything in your power to help the team win, and I didn't even think twice about it. When it happened, it's just something that I did. Yeah, I just try to do my part.
Given the severity of your knee injury and when it happened, how would you describe the offseason when it comes to rehab and then having to stack on a draft process with that?
Yeah, it was definitely not planned, and definitely not my plan, but the Lord's plan. So everything worked out for a reason, and I was thankfully my injury really wasn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. I was able to come back pretty fast, heal up, and be able to do everything at pro day and some stuff at the combine, and I'm ready to play football now.
Feeling 100% now?
Yeah. Yep.
Zach, has it sunk in, or is it still kind of
not all the way? I keep pinching myself. It doesn't quite feel real.
What was the ride up here like this morning?
Yeah, it was unbelievable to just hop in my truck and drive up here, and not have to get on a plane. I think when it hit me is when I drove through the tunnel and saw the city. It's like, oh, this is real. This is pretty cool.
What's the reaction from your family? I mean, you from Fairmont, you go to West Virginia, that's your choice, but to get picked and to be so close to home, I'm sure you're gonna have, family asking for tickets yet already. What was kind of the reaction like that?
Yeah, they were ecstatic. Like I said, we're just an hour and a half down the road, so they couldn't have been any more happy. So it was definitely a special moment for my family, and I.
Anyone else?
Was that your parents' house you were at last night?
It was my uncle's house.
It was an interesting collection of memorabilia he had. There's some Ray Lewis, some Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
You have to get him some Steelers stuff in there.
Yeah, he has a couple Steelers jerseys, but he's a Cowboys fan. I had some local media there. They wanted to interview me, and I was like, I can't do it in front of all this Cowboys stuff. We gotta get out of here. But yeah, it was funny.
Going into this weekend, did you have a feeling that the Steelers might take you, that you might end up here? And what were some of the things that they wanted to ask and learn about you on your visit here?
Yeah, I knew it was a possibility. Of course, you don't get to pick, and you don't know what's going to happen. So there's a lot of uncertainty. But as the picks kept getting closer to Pittsburgh, I kept getting more and more excited because I knew that was a possible spot for me. And when I saw the 412 area code, I knew right away. actually in our meeting when I came up here in the pre-draft
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
Coach Tomlin was joking around. He's like, "Don't answer the phone unless it's 412." So once I saw it, I knew right away.
And you played here a couple years ago, right? In the
Yeah.
backyard brawl.
Yep.
Is that gonna be? I know you're a Steeler. It's gonna be weird at all being right next door to Pitt, given that rivalry and.
Yeah, it's funny. The people in West Virginia, they hate Pitt, but they love the Steelers. It's the weirdest thing, but yeah, it's definitely gonna be special.
Have you been to Steeler games at all?
Yeah. The last Steeler game I was at was Big Ben's last game against Cleveland.
You're obviously an accomplished wrestler, only lost twice. I'm curious, how did you ever lose? What do you remember about the losses, and how did you then respond to those?
Yeah, both of the losses were my freshman year, earlier in the season, and just I was able to overcome that, and then I didn't lose again. So
Zach, how long of a drive is it door to door?
when I left my apartment in Morgantown, it was an hour and 15. So yeah, pretty quick.
With the wrestling, I mean, the Troy picked day before you, he did high school volleyball. I mean, to have both you and him and so many players now play multiple sports, how much does that help you to not specialize before you begin this NFL career?
Yeah, I think it's good for younger kids to just play as many sports as they can because, like for me, there's a lot of things in wrestling that carry over to football. And I think it's just good to just, make well-rounded athletes, especially at that age. There's no reason to specialize too early. Obviously, when you go to college, you have to, but yeah.
Zach, what about your game do you think is gonna carry over well into the NFL?
I would say just the way I played, playing physical, setting the tone up front.
Were there any centers that you tried to model your game after that you liked watching to kind of pick up and see what they do?
Yeah, I liked watching, last offseason we studied the Eagles offensive line. Watched Jason Kelsey, obviously he's really special. I like watching Creed Humphrey, like watching his game. I like watching football, so I like watching everyone really.
They picked you and Troy back to back. Have you gotten to interact with him, or what do you know about Troy?
Yeah, I met him a little bit at the combine, but yeah, I'm so excited to get to work with him. When they were playing in the playoffs and the national championship, I watched him a lot. He's a very good player, and I'm excited to get to work with him.
Zach, you actually build furniture?
Yeah, I do some woodworking
Are we
projects.
talking about like couches or end tables?
No, like end tables, desks. I built a shoe rack, like just whatever my wife wants that I don't want to buy. Yeah.
Did you really get straight A's all through school, like all the stories say about you?
Through high school, I got 2 B's in college, I think. Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah.
How much did that first B bother you?
It bothered me. Yeah, I was in engineering at the time, so yeah.
Couple more.
Zach, you have, with you and Broderick is basically the same age as here last year. It's kind of like you have almost like a recruiting class on the offensive line. You have 3 young guys all coming together. How exciting is that? You come into a locker room where everybody's established and 10 years older than you. It seems like you have a group that you can build together with and get some chemistry with for a long time.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think the pieces are there to have, like you said, a good core group of guys for a long period of time. And I think at offensive line, it's important to build chemistry with the guys next to you. That's kind of how it was with me at West Virginia. We had the same group of guys for basically 3 years. By my senior year last year, we were all pretty tight and kind of knew what each other were thinking and stuff like that. So definitely excited for that.
Did anyone come down with you today on that hour-and-a-half drive? Just you by yourself, or did you bring wife, family?
Yeah, my wife's here, my parents are here, my brother's here, and then my uncle's families are coming up to the draft party too.
Did you guys all fit in the same truck, or did you take like multiple?
Oh, just the 5 of us were in my truck, and then there's more coming up. Yeah.